Testing 1 2 1 2 here in the Icon Files. Bada boom, bada bing. Let me just send this link to everybody. Share. Copy link. That way we can get some more people in here. Transform Third Party Kingdom. Write something. That's everyone. Post. I think I put everyone without without putting the link. Oh my god. Come on, Mike. That was hilarious. Posted at everyone. I forgot to put the link. All right, guys. Welcome to the Icon Files, part 3 of retro games and consoles. Yeah, we've been having a lot of fun, man, with this stuff, and really excited here. We're gonna try to close it because, you know, with the retro games and stuff, there's a whole bunch of games to talk about, and I'm only covering like the top of the layer, you know, because you could really talk about games for a long, long time. So we're gonna end the retro series games today, and next week we'll start something new. But we'll come back to the retro games at a later time. You know, definitely we had a lot of fun with this, and we'll definitely explore it some more. So let me start off with just a couple of shout outs like I always do, because I feel like last time I didn't really get a chance to do that. If you're watching, comment, you know, so I can know you're here. You know, let's get this going. So let's give a shout out to Jonathan Schofield from the 3DS Printing and Collectibles, where imagination takes shape. That's what we're talking about. Jonathan is my Scotty from the bridge. Scotty, we need the engines online. How long? Captain, I don't know, 3 weeks. And then he does it in 5 seconds. Scotty's hilarious. But yeah, Jonathan Schofield is the man when you need 3D stuff. He's the man. He gets it done. All right, so we got Angela Gibson. Like I've always said, she does t-shirts, merchandise. She does. There's a lot of stuff on her website, craftyasamug.dashery.com. Mugs, shirts, clothing, stickers. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff on her website, and she does some stuff for us. Sherry, real quick, there's a couple of stuff she does for Transformers Third Party Kingdom shirts. She does some shirts for us. The designs have been updated, so check her out. You know, support everybody, support her, support the Icon Files, and support Transformers Third Party Kingdom. You know, here's one of the designs we have of the Voltron Force. I love it. I got this one in myself, and it looks amazing. You know, ready to form Voltron. That's how we do it. Shout out to James Gobo, the good, the bad, the awesome. Check him out, all things pop culture. Check him out on YouTube, man. He's the man. James is an amazing person. Really good guy. He's got amazing content. You know, he's always up to date on stuff, very knowledgeable. So check him out, guys. You will not be disappointed. Also, check out Billy the Kid Reviews. All right. I don't have a Billy the Kid review screenshot yet. I got to see if he has one. I think he does. I'm not sure, but when I get one, I'll be advertising it. But Billy the Kid, he's an amazing guy. I had a lot of fun with him, and I had a lot of fun with James on the Forge when they invited me to be part of their show. It was amazing. We had a lot of fun, a lot of stuff to talk about, and the Forge is awesome, man. The Forge is awesome. And don't forget, let's talk about it. Transformers Third Party Kingdom on YouTube as well. You want to check them out. Christopher and his panel of sidekicks. Amazing guy, dude. You definitely want to check all those guys out. Also, we want to give a shout out to E-Man's World of Geek. E-Man's been really cool, man. He's been supporting my channel. He's been jumping on here and being part of it and interacting, which is cool. So lots of appreciation to E-Man, and check him out, man. We listen, there's a whole bunch of guys, right? There's a whole bunch of podcasts out there, but you know what? I feel like we bring a lot of different material, and even if we talk about the same material, it's different opinions, man. We're giving you our feedback. So check out E-Man's, man. I love his channel. I really do. And I'm not just saying that because, I just recently got him as a friend of mine, but I do love his material. If I didn't like it, I would be posting, and that's the truth, guys. Anything that I post on the Icon Files is because I like it myself. I'm not just doing it just to put some people up here. I'm doing it because I like their channel. So check them out, man. You're not going to regret it. E-Man's World of Geek. Bada boom, bada bing. In case you don't know, the Icon Files goes on Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when the Icon Files goes on, and we always try to have cool stuff, material. We're growing our following. So if you're new to this is your first time here, hit that bell. That way everything about me. It's you're gonna know everything about Michael, about the Icon Files. When I wake up, when I go to bed. But it's going to be cool. Hit that bell so you're notified when we go live, and you're not just wondering, I wonder when they go live, are they live now? Hit that bell and it's going to tell you when we go live. And subscribe and follow us, man. Absolutely. We love to hear from our audience. Any ideas you guys have for a nice topic on the show, we're most always welcome to hearing some feedback. So that's going to be cool. And if you haven't already known, the Icon Files also goes live on Sundays. Sundays more of a Bible study type thing. We talk about the Bible, talk about experiences, and it's called, if you want to learn more about God, then that's the place to be, man. Even if you don't know nothing, come to the Seeds of Faith and we'll educate you a little bit. We'll educate ourselves, both of us, because I'm always learning. So, yeah, check out Seeds of Faith on Mondays. No set time. Sundays. No set time, but it's definitely live on Sundays. So, we're going to dive in today. Let me just see if I can lower the music a little bit more. I don't know how it's sounding on it. There you go. We lower just a little bit more. See how that sounds on the recording. So we've been doing a retro game, and this whole retro series we've been doing, we talked about some toys. That was a lot of fun to get some feedback on some people like, oh my God, I completely forgot that. And I also wanted to do get into the retro game. And there's a lot of, man, we have lots of topics for retro. We could get into the TV shows and maybe music. It goes on and on, but because it's such a big category, we're going to end the series today, part 3 of retro game and consoles. And then, at a later time, we'll go back and talk some more about retro stuff. It was fun, It's always fun to talk about retro games because it's part of our childhood. You know, we grew up with this stuff, and it's always, cool to think back when we were little kids. No worries, just playing with our toys, playing with our video games. We didn't have to worry about paying rent or getting groceries. It was just a really fun time to discuss it. One more announcement before I get into, don't want to forget, our very own Stephen Cranford in Transformers Third Party Kingdom is selling a 100% MMC Defensor set. 700 shipped. $10 for West Coast, but 100% MMC Defensor that Stephen Cranford from Transformers Third Party Kingdom is selling. He might be here too a little later. But I'm good, guys. Let me be the first. I had two of these sets. Guys. And the only reason why I sold them was just because I had to get some income and take care of some business is the only reason why I sold them. I think the Defensor is an amazing combiner. I think MMC did an amazing job. It happens to be one of my favorite comparisons of Defensor. There's many different styles out there, but the MMC, for me, in my opinion, nailed it. They got a really good combiner. But I love the individual robots the most. I think they're a great size, and I think their detail is beyond belief. You know what I'm saying? I think they knocked it out of the park big time. A grand slam, bases loaded, a no-hitter. You name it, dude. MMC, in my opinion, delivered on this one. MMC Defensor, amazing combiner, and even more amazing individual robots. They're just really good, man. $700 shipped is an amazing deal, dude, and it's not gonna last. So if you want to purchase it, let me know in the comments. Reach out to me. If you are able to get to Facebook and go to Transformers Third Party Kingdom and type in Stephen Cranford, it won't take you long till he finds till you find him. He's one of the admins there. A great guy. I love Stephen. He's like a son to me. I joke because I literally could be his dad. But Steven's an amazing guy. He really is an amazing guy, and if he can help you out, he will. So 700 shipped, MMC 100% Defensor. Awesome deal, guys. So check it out. Let me know if it's something that you're interested in. I'm gonna announce it throughout the show when I get more people in here. But definitely jump on that because it's not gonna last, guys. I mean, I sold mine months ago for 800 and it sold like hotcakes. So this is 700 shipped. So dude, it's a good deal because when you're buying sets, shipping alone on sets like that, because it's a lot of robots and it's heavy, it's gonna cost you some shipping, so this is 700 shipped. So you can look at it like you're paying $650 and paying $50 shipping, however you want to divide it. But at the end of the day, it's a great deal. So with that being said, let us get into part 3 of retro games and consoles. And of course, because we're talking about retro, I'm going to introduce my buddy, Bert. Say hi, Bert. Hi, guys. So yeah, Bert goes a long way with me. If you watched, I did a quick, I think like unboxing, whatever, on Bert. And Bert, this Bert is from 1985. So he's like 40 years old. And I had him as a kid. I saw him at the gift shop of my mom's job where she worked, it was a hospital. And every time you go into the hospital, he was just kind of like sitting there on the window, like boom. And I'm like, Mom, can we get him? And she bought me him, she bought me Bert, and Bert was my best friend. So we got Bert here. He's always there, not too far away from me where I can see him and I can just laugh by looking at him. So this is going to be interesting, guys, because I'm a big Genesis fan, Sega, Atari, lots of other games that we'll get into, but I didn't play too much Super Nintendo. I guess I was still playing Sega Genesis when Super Nintendo was around. I was just heavy into the Genesis. And I played it whenever I would go to my cousin's house because he had the Super Nintendo. So that's where I would play it. But this is going to be interesting because, I want to get some feedback. If you're coming in now, let me know. Give me some feedback. If you're coming in later and watching this later, just leave a comment like, yeah, I remember this, I remember that, or man, I don't think that's a good game to talk about. Whatever it is, seriously, because I'm interested in knowing, did I pick some good titles to talk about, and show? Because I really don't know. I really don't know if I picked some good ones because Super Nintendo, I really didn't play. Very, very, not very often. So let's see here. So I'm just gonna let's see. We'll just go here and start with one of them, and we'll just go from there. And the first one's gonna be Clay Fighters. Clay Fighters. Let me get myself there. You could barely see myself there. Oh my God, what's going on? Maybe this way. I don't know if that's any better. Anyways, you can see me a little bit. So yeah, man. Clay Fighters, dude, I did play this. Even though I didn't play a lot of Nintendo, I did play Clay Fighters because I had friends that had this game. And it was pretty bugged out, to be honest. I really did enjoy playing Clay Fighters. It was one of those games where you started getting into that 3D style of gaming, and for its time, it was just kind of blew your mind. It really did. Like, damn, look at this, because you're used to the 2D gaming, right? And then this 3D stuff comes out and you're just blown away, like, oh my God, we're in the future. We're like, it's never gonna get any better than this. So yeah, and I want to say, I can't remember all the characters, but I want to say the snowman was one of my favorites. The snowman was one of my favorite characters in Clay Fighters. It was just a bugged out game to do in head-to-head fighting action, ultra turbo Nintendo. So yeah, that was pretty bugged out, man. That was pretty bugged out. The snowman definitely jogs my memory, but the other guys, not too much. Not too much, because like I said, I didn't play all the time. I only played it whenever I would go over my cousin's house or friends that had the game. So, you know, it was a cool game. I thought it was fun. It was definitely unique for its time. Unique for its time. I can't remember how many characters you can play. I mean, on the cover it shows 3, but I'm sure there was quite a bit more. But yeah, that's interesting. And to come to think of it, I don't think they ever made another game like Clay Fighters, right? If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But I think Clay Fighters, it came in and stayed in that era. I thought it was I thought it was a good enough game to bring back. But developers and all that, they make their own decisions on stuff like that. So you never know. You never know, but we'll see. So yeah, we start off with Clay Fighters. So let me know your thoughts on that. All right, let me know. Hey, man, that was a good one. Good choice, Mike. Let me know. That was a bad choice, Mike. What the heck are you doing? All right, so next, The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, Super Nintendo Entertainment System. A link to the past, just like the icon files. The past whispers, the future unfolds. We like talking about the past. So yeah, man, Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. Again, I didn't play this because my time playing Zelda was probably on the regular Nintendo. And when Zelda came out for the Super Nintendo, not to my knowledge, I don't remember me playing this game. If I did, again, probably over my cousin's house, but I just don't remember playing this game, So I put it up there because I felt like it could be a good name for the Super Nintendo. You let me know. Yeah, Mike, that's a good game. And, I played it lots of times. Whatever it is, let me know if it's a good choice to be here, Again, the last games I played was Zelda for Nintendo. And Zelda for Nintendo, man, I still feel like I want to play that. Doing these retro games and consoles, man, I've been so tempted to buy a let me just put myself back here so you can see me big time. Yeah, so doing these retro games, man, it's made me really, really want to buy one of those consoles that has all the old games. And I've seen them get better and better and better. Like they have everything. You can get a console that has all the Atari, all the Sega Genesis, all the regular Sega Masters, regular Nintendo, Super Nintendo. I mean, you can have a system with all these games in it, dude. It was crazy, and I've seen them recently. I'm like, man, I've been so tempted to buy one of those consoles that have everything in there, man. I'm like, oh, I'm so tempted because, thinking about these titles that I'm doing, man, it's like it just brought me back, man, So we went over Clay Fighters. All right, we went over Clay Fighters. Thought that was good. We went over Zelda. And now we're going to the King of Fighters. Boom. Yo, this game really grabbed my attention lots and lots of times, man. Because you got Street Fighter and everybody loves Street Fighter, right? But the King of Fighters, man, just had all these games put into one. You had your Street Fighter characters, you had your Fatal Fury characters, Bernie Knuckles, I forget his name. I think it's Ken, I think. Just, man, it was just an amazing, amazing game to be able to play all these fighters in one. You didn't have to jump to your Street Fighter, take it off, go through Fatal Fury. It was a whole bunch of games where you can play everybody in one spot. And it was by SNK, which was, whenever you saw an SNK, you knew it was good. You knew it was good. So yeah, I played this beyond belief. The King of Fighters 98, played it beyond belief. This was one of those games, even though it was on a Super Nintendo, I played it beyond belief. It was really good. So I thought it was a good game to talk about on this part 3 of retro games and consoles. I remember Guile. There was playing these fighting games. I always tried to master a character. I feel like I would focus on one and try to master him the best I could before moving on to the next, and I would kind of raise the difficult level little by little and eventually put it all the way. And I remember playing Street Fighter and playing against my cousin. My cousin would always win, like I was, whenever I played my cousin, I just didn't really do well. But then they got a time where I just started playing it on extreme difficulty, whatever its setting it was. And even though I died in 2 seconds, I just kept at it, boom, boom, boom. And then next thing you know, you're getting good. You're getting good at it, you know? So, yeah. King of Fighters 98. Just 1 year after me graduating high school. I graduated high school in 97. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. I was really happy to see that. All right, so what's the next one? Let's see here. Earthworm Jim. Dan, dude, this game was really cool. I had a lot of fun playing this game. Earthworm Jim. 24 mech of play action. Yeah, Earthworm Jim, another great graphic game for its time. It was different. You know, you are worm. You know, Earthworm Jim, you know, just tons of hours playing this game, dude. Like I just couldn't put it down. I had to keep playing it and playing it. And I thought he looked cool. I just felt like he was like a cool looking. I even categorized him as a superhero. You know, he just kind of looked like a superhero to me. Earthworm Jim, superhero. I'm surprised we don't see him more in like superhero comics. But yeah, Earthworm Jim, really cool. Had a lot of fun playing that game. So let me know. Let me know what you guys think. You know, yeah, that was Betty Bugged Out. I think it was awesome. You know, definitely want to hear what your feedback, guys. You know, Earthworm Jim. Let's see here. Just want to check my stuff. Yep. Bada boom, bada bing. All right. All right, next game. Let's see here. We're going through Super Nintendo. All right. So far in the series, we've done the Atari 2600. We've done the Nintendo. We jumped from Atari 2600 to the Nintendo. From the Nintendo, we jumped into the Sega Genesis, the TurboGrafx 16. And now we're jumping into the Super Nintendo. You know, and there's a lot of systems, guys. I'm not going to be able to cover all the systems. Just letting you know that now. But we will go back eventually and talk about them. All right, so the next game is Killer Instinct. Yo, my goodness. Everybody knew this game. Everybody knew about this game. You didn't have to have a Super Nintendo. You knew about this game. Killer Instinct thing was everywhere. You know, you're talking about 3D graphics. Just a really great game, man. I'll get myself here in the corner. You can't really see me. These pictures are pretty big, so you can't see me. But oh my God, dude, this was an amazing game. Hours and hours playing this in the arcade. Your allowance was gone. Whatever money you earned that week was gone playing this game. Killer Instinct, dude, gone. You know, you got better at this game the more money you spent. And then when you were able to get this on the console, then you're smooth sailing from there, man. Everything just seemed to come together. So Killer Instinct, man. I see the cover and I wanted to do some more research, but I'm always limited on what I can put as far as pictures. But I definitely remember this guy. I think his name was Glacier. So Killer Instinct, man. Again, let me know about your thoughts about this game. The thing is pretty crazy. Let's see here. Moving on. Donkey Kong Country, Super Nintendo Entertainment System, as incredible 3D adventure in the Kingdom of Kong. So it's telling you right, it's one of those 3D games. I definitely played this game. I feel like anything Donkey Kong, anything Mario, anything Pac-Man, you can't lose. You buy that game and it's going to be good. It's almost like a guarantee, you know. So yeah, Donkey Kong was pretty cool. And I think, man, I'm trying to remember, did they have the drums, the congas that came with this? I remember there was a system that when you bought Donkey Kong, it came with congas or bongos, whatever. But I don't know if it was for the Super Nintendo or the next system's up, but I do remember seeing that in the stores. So Donkey Kong was cool. Donkey Kong was a lot of fun. Let's see here. Boom. Damn, dude. Talking about a picture that goes back to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a lot of us, when we look at this picture, we know exactly where we were when we first saw it. You know? Damn, dude. Jeez. Like, I want to say I remember seeing this in Toys R Us. Just going down to Toys R Us and looking at the game, and boom, I seen this image. Damn, dude. Can't go wrong with Street Fighter, man. You can't go wrong. Who was your favorite? For those following, who was your favorite Street Fighter 2 character? I mean, I'm sure there's probably multiple, right? I want to say for me, my favorite character was Sagat. If I'm saying it right. Sagat was my favorite, you know. Think he looks awesome. I like his character, the way he looks, you know, just looks like he's been through some battles, you know. So that was cool. Street Fighter's over. You can't go wrong with Street Fighter. You know, I had to throw that in here because I just felt like, you know, it's a must, you know. All right. Super Punch Out. Super Punch Out. Damn, dude. You know, going back to, I think I covered it in the Nintendo, Mike Tyson's Punch Out. This is Super Punch Out. Yo. Talking about just hours playing the game. Hours playing the game. You spend hours, days, months, years playing games like this. I remember playing Mike Tyson's Punch Out, and I would just play it over and over and over and over and over again. It was just, it wouldn't stop. It was like, you know, I was, you know, I don't know, addicted to the boxing. So that looks like Bald Bull, if I remember these names out. Maybe Sandman right there, maybe Sandman, and then what's that one? Is that Soda Pop Pasinski? I think that's Soda Pop. So yeah, man, Punch Out, of course, Punch Out was amazing. Super Metroid. Super Metroid. Damn, dude. The Metro series have been going pretty strong. I remember playing the original Metroid on Nintendo, and I covered this a little bit on the first series, but how you would play for hours and hours and hours, and then when you got to the end, you found out it was a girl. Dude, I lost count of how many people were actually upset that it was a girl at the end. Oh my God. It was like the gaming companies got you. Like, we got you, you know, all those days and hours you can't take back, you know, we got you. Ultimate April Fools. Oh my God, dude, that's crazy. So yeah, Super Metroid I felt had to be on this list. You know, I think it's a great game. Right? Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's Island. So, I don't remember playing this game. I know Yoshi and all that, but I just don't remember playing this game. I put it because of what I was reading online, that it was a popular game. A lot of people liked it. So I'm like, well, even though I didn't play it, let me just post it and see what the guys say here on the Icon Files. So we got Paper Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. So yeah, Don't remember playing this game, but from what I'm hearing, it was pretty amazing. All right, now we got Super Mario World. Again, these are epic games. Epic games, Mario alone kept everything afloat. Excuse me, sorry guys. It just hit me there all of a sudden. Yeah. Super Nintendo. My cousins always had these things. Explored 9 worlds and 96 levels of nonstop action. So if you wanted a game that you weren't going to conquer right away, that you can play for a long time, Mario, you can't go wrong with Mario. All right. All right. So that's what I'm going to cover for the Super Nintendo. I know that, again, I know there's a lot of games, but because I wanted to wrap up the retro games on this episode, we'll come to it again later, but I just wanted to kind of bring it to a close on part 3. The next gaming console we're going to talk about is, I'll show you one of the games for it, because I don't think I have, no I don't. The Nintendo GameCube. Yo, talking about an epic time to be a video game fanatic. When the Nintendo GameCube came out, dude, I picked it up. I had the purple one. And excuse me. I think this was one of my first games that I played for it, the Rogue Leader Squadron. I'm almost positive it was this game that I played. Excuse me. So, yeah, this was pretty good. Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron 2, Nintendo GameCube, LucasArts Entertainment Company. Dope game, awesome graphics. And the Nintendo GameCube, when it came out, it was different because it was a disc, but it was a small, tiny disc. So I actually thought it was kind of cool, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty neat, not your standard huge disc, but a regular one. So I actually felt like it was cool. All right, moving on. Let's see. What up, guys? Welcome to the Icon Files. Animal Crossing, dude. Oh my god, dude. Did you guys play this? I feel like at one point everybody loved this game, I want to say it's kind of similar addiction to the Viva Pinata. And I played Viva Pinata forever, dude. But Animal Crossing, yeah, what a cool game. I feel like it was a cool game to play with your kids, It was definitely rated E for everyone. So I had a lot of fun playing Animal Crossing, It was different. If you wanted to have kind of cut back on the seriousness of playing all these other games and dive into a game that's going to be more relaxing, then boom, Animal Crossing. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I definitely enjoyed that. Again, guys, just want to remind everybody who's coming in, we have an MMC Defensor for sale. Stephen Cranford is selling a complete 100% MMC Defensor, 700 shipped, $10 for the West Coast. Dude, again, let me get this out of my... Get this out of here. There you go. Yeah, again, oh, it's playing tricks on me. MMC Defense was awesome, dude. Awesome. I had 2 sets. I only sold it because I had to get some finances done. But MMC Defensor, in my opinion, is an amazing set. The individual robots, I feel like, are 100% there. When you combine them, they're a little small compared to other combiners, but I still feel like it's a great combiner. I like the style. I like the way they were able to bring it together. So MMC Defensor 100%, 700 shipped, guys. let me know in the comments if you want me to connect you with Steven. If you're on Facebook, maybe you're already in the group, Transformers Third Party Kingdom. Just type in Steven and he'll pop up, Steven Cranford, and he'll pop up and you can own that set too. It's an amazing set. You know, you're not gonna regret it. Let me tell you that now. I know $700 can be a lot of money. You're not gonna regret it. It's worth every single penny. It really is. So, all right. And then we're gonna go into Metroid Prime. Damn, dude. I mean, talking about the hours that I lost playing video games, dude. This was one of them. You know, I lost a lot of hours of my life playing Metroid Prime. It was just let's see here. Bada boom, bada bing. Just crazy awesome game. The graphics were amazing. Just pretty dope. Pretty dope. Bada boom, bada bing. I loved it. So can't go wrong with Metroid Prime. I felt like he had to be on here. It was a great game. So pretty cool. Let's see next. Nintendo Crazy Taxi. I don't know, for some reason I just enjoyed playing this game. I don't know if it was because there were taxi cars or what, but I kind of feel like I shouldn't like this game, but I ended up liking the game. So I don't know what the heck happened there. I really don't. But yeah, this was a big one in an arcade. And I did get it for the Nintendo GameCube. I thought it was good. I had a lot of fun. It was different, you know, just again, if you played a lot of fighting games or a lot of like adventure games, this was different. So I thought it was cool. Let's see here. We got a comment. Yo, Steven. There he is, Steven. And just like I said, I've been announcing it throughout my live, the 100% MMC Defensor that Steven here is selling. 700 shipped. He's posted it on the Transformers Third Party Kingdom, I believe. Yo, just like I was saying to you guys earlier, thing is amazing, dude. Thing is amazing, and I'm not just saying it because Steven is selling it, and I'm not saying it because I owned them, but yo, the MMC Defensor is an amazing set. The heck was that? I feel like they were great as a combiner, in my opinion, because I like that version of Defensor. I kind of grew up on it. I don't know, something about that Defensor attracted it to me. So, and then the individual robots, in my opinion, were just spot on, dude. Those things were amazing. I had a lot of fun posing them. I felt like they were a great size, and I felt like the detail was amazing. You know, definitely, it's a great set, guys. If you don't have it yet and you've been thinking about it, then let me help you out. You don't need to think about it anymore because Steven got it for you. He's waiting for you to contact him, and he's going to be sending it your way. And you too can form Defensor. You know, whenever the situation gets hot, Hotspot's going to take care of it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, MMC Defensor, man, 700 shipped, $10 for the West Coast. You can't go wrong, guys. I had one and I sold it for $800, and it sold like that. It sold really fast. So $700, man, is not going to last. So don't think about it too much because it's going to go quick, guys. It's going to go quick. Trust me. Mine sold at 800, and I think it sold within probably like 25 minutes of me posting it. It was crazy. People are like, oh my God, I want this. I don't know if I should do it. Yeah, I guess I'll do it. So yeah, let me know. I can connect you with Steven. If you're in Facebook already, Transformers Third Party Kingdom, then he's one of our admins. Let Steven Cranford, let him know, reach out to him, and he will take good care of you. So moving on, we got we're into the Nintendo GameCube. So I remember playing this game like crazy, dude. All Star Baseball 2002. So first of all, I'm a Yankee fan here in New England. So, I'm on enemy territory. But yeah, just having Derek Jeter on that cover sold the game, in my opinion. Like, oh my God. Yeah, I can't remember the graphics on this. I was trying to look it up, but I didn't have enough time. But I remember the cover, and I feel like it was just the best baseball game for the system because I don't remember any other game other than this one for baseball. So that being said, it must have been just an amazing game. You know, I remember it, man. I really do. What a great game. All right, let's see. So that's baseball 2002. Let me know if you remember playing that because I think it's pretty bugged out. Star Fox Adventures. Yo, I mean, here we go. Introducing the fox. What did the fox say? Hotty, 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 yay. Hotty, 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 yay. Oh my God. I need to stop. What did the fox say? Yeah, so about Star Fox Adventures, man. Man, what a bugged out game. How can you not like playing a fox? Reminds me of Rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy, but this guy's a fox. So maybe he was one of the, what's his name? What's his name? The High Evolutionary. Maybe he was a creation for the High Evolutionary. Oh my God. But Star Fox was cool, man. I love playing the game. I thought it was great. Again, you can't go wrong with Star Fox, Mario, Donkey Kong, Yoshi. Oh my God. The list goes on and on. You really can't go wrong with those games. All right. There we go. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. Oh my God, dude. If you were never a skateboarder, when you played this game, you wanted a skateboard. I'll tell you that right now. I didn't own one, but when I got this game, I was looking at boards, even though I probably would have killed myself. But it was just a great game, man. It was just a great game. Playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 on the Nintendo GameCube, many hours, man. I got to know the skateboard Tony Hawk and all these other people, man. What a great game, dude. I had a lot of fun playing this game. And I played it for a long, long time. It was like I really played it till it turned to dust, basically. Thing was such a good game to play. So let me know in the comments, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, if you enjoyed it as well. I did, so I'd love to hear your feedback on that. Next, Red Dead Redemption 2. Damn, dude. Red Dead Redemption. I remember when this came out. It was interesting. I was like, oh, what's this? The Wild Wild West, I feel like it was a good game. I thought it earned a spot here on the I thought it was a good game. Especially if you're like big Westerns fan. I love obviously Clint Eastwood and his movies. Every now and then I love to watch them, and we be having our own marathon over here. It was just a great game. So thought that was cool. Let's see. F-Zero GX. Man, this was bugged out. So first of all, I love vehicles. I love like anything that resembles a spacecraft. I love it. And these cars really did it for me. They were is really unique, and I had a lot of fun playing them. It's just, man, really cool. I had a lot of fun playing this game. F-Zero GX, man. Let me know what your thoughts on that one, because I did have a lot of fun playing that one. It was bugged out. And of course, we got Super Monkey Ball. Super Monkey Ball, man. Man, just looking at this cover really takes me back, guys. This was a fun game. I played this a lot, man. it's cool when you're able to look at a cover of a game and it just really takes you back to that moment, you know. And Super Monkey Ball definitely does because I played it a lot. All right. Luigi's Mansion, dude. I believe this was one of the first launch games as well for the Nintendo GameCube. Um, really great graphics, man. I really feel like Nintendo nailed it on this one. Just really good, guys. Really good game. All right, so far we did the Super Nintendo, we did the Nintendo GameCube. So, and again, there's a whole bunch of games I didn't cover, and maybe at a later date we can go back to these consoles and talk about more games. But I wanted to end it there, and I wanted to dive into handheld. I felt like that was a good addition to this live, was to talk about handheld games. And I want to say it all started with stuff like this. Electric. Oh my god, dude. I had so many of these games. And they were very, very simple. You know, they really didn't do much. But I guess it was the way you can experience a lot of these simple games, you know, like two button, boom, 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 boom. And I bought a lot of these in yard sales, flea markets, you know, cheap, $2, $3, you know. And they were simple, but it was fun, man. I had fun, and I thought, you know, it deserved a spot here on the Icon Files Retro Games. And then I feel like the next step up would have to be the original GameCube. I mean, the original Game Boy GameCube. The original Game Boy. So I had one of these original Game Boys, man. And I remember because my brother bought me it, and he bought me it where it came with like a setup. You find glass to zoom, make the screen bigger, and then you unfold like these side speakers. It was pretty dope, man. It was like having a Bose system on your game. So it was bugged out. I enjoyed it a lot. Games were black and white, you know, nothing color, but even then it was still a lot of fun to play. You know, I enjoyed playing it, you know. How can you not like that, you know? Um, from there, man, from there, I want to say we get into Game Gear. You guys remember the Game Gear? The Sega Game Gear. And this was definitely a game, handheld game that I wanted to try to get for a long time. And I did eventually get it, you know, but this was all color, man. This was it, you started getting into the color, and it was I felt like the style was cool, you know. I thought it was cool, and I thought the games that you could play were very well done, you know. So I did have a Game Gear. Just I don't know what happened to it, you know. I don't. A lot of times I don't remember what happened to my systems. We'll talk about um Nintendo DS. Dang, dude. The Nintendo DS. I had several of these. I had multiple of these different colors, and this was the bomb, man. This was, you had this, you were rolling. You were, you know, you were everybody's friend if you had one of these. And man, I remember playing stuff like He-Man on this. Just Nintendo DS definitely was reigning supreme in the handheld era with this system. Very, very good. The Lynx. You guys remember the Lynx, man, I kind of see the commercials in my head of the Lynx. You know, I remember seeing this in Toys R Us, and I don't know if I didn't buy it because maybe it was expensive, but the Lynx definitely came and was there, trying to sell itself, the Lynx. So that was another game, handheld game that pretty much forgot about. Let's see here. And then after this, I want to say, I'm trying to see what would come next. I think the next one after this would gotta be this one. This is the Neo Geo Pocket, I think it was called, or the Neo Geo Mini. But I had this. It was on sale at Toys R Us when I got it. When it first came out, I wanted to buy it, but it was too expensive for me. And then I just happened to wait at the right time and got it at cheap. And I remember playing King of Fighters on this, and that definitely was pretty cool. Let's see. And then from this one, I want to say the Sony PSP, this was, dang, dude, I had this as well. And I want to say that this was just a huge improvement. You had these little tiny discs, and everybody was freaking out like, oh my God, like we're going to get the mark. And it was little tiny discs, man, inside like of a plastic thing, but I felt like it was so unique. I really did. I felt like it was so unique. And I did own several of them during my gaming years, and I thought it was cool. So that made the and then is the next console that I'm gonna talk about. I guess it would fit in like the handheld type thing, but it definitely was different. Let me share it. Like, what am I talking about? Oh, Mike, what are you talking about? Well, this is what I'm talking about. The Virtual Boy. Yo, this man, when this came out, I was like, yo, what is this? This thing is like weird. The controller kind of felt okay though, and I kind of remember feeling that controller, and it felt good. I felt like it felt comfortable, but the game, so that red stuff, man, and I believe it was supposed to give you like a 3D effect. It was like the bomb, like what the heck? We're like, what is this? So the Virtual Boy, it came and left. And I want to say I got mines at KB Toy Store for it was probably like $20. It was crazy. It was like a crazy price, but I got it. It was pretty crazy. The Virtual Boy, and then I got this one because this is gonna be like a sneak peek of some series that we could be doing. We're doing retro stuff like that, and I felt like, what would be cool to do retro arcade games. And I chose this one because I had a lot of good memories of this one. I remember playing this at amusement parks, and you would be a Superman, and then the second player would be like a red Superman. But I would always say that that's Shazam. So, and I want to say maybe a year or two ago, I saw this on the marketplace. I was like, man, I was so tempted to buy it. I love the game, The second player was red with a yellow cape. I always felt like it was Shazam. I don't think it was supposed to be Shazam, but I always played player 2 thinking he was Shazam. So definitely a great arcade game to have if you're able to be blessed enough to have that one. That's a really good game. So, that's where we come down to. We did a fairly quick walkthrough of the games. Again, I want to remind everybody that if you're looking for MMC Defensor, very own Stephen Cranford, reach out to him if you're interested. It's a great deal. 700 shipped. You can't go wrong. I paid over 800 for mine. So this one's ready to go. It's ready to make it to your collection. You display it. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, guys. So, I think live is going to be, on Voltron. I think I want to do an episode on Voltron. I've been waiting patiently to talk about Voltron here, so I might do some research, and we're going to dive into the legendary Voltron. So appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this live, to give me feedback, let me know how I did. And we'll have a lot more to talk about on the next show. It's going to be exciting. I always try to keep it exciting for you guys. In the last few episodes, you guys have been a lot happier in what we're doing. So I definitely want to, make sure I bring some good content for you guys. So next episode should be about Voltron. I believe it'll be fun. So I'm going to try to continue with that and putting something together. So I had a lot of fun doing this, and if you want to be a part of the Icon Files, you want to go live, whatever it is, let us know. We'll be happy to set something up. So with that said, we're at the 1 hour mark. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's take a moment and pray and close here. Thank you, Lord, for allowing me to go live, to share these retro files and share with my community, with our followers. We're always trying to bring good content here. And thank you for allowing me to just bring something exciting into someone else's home, where they could be doing anything. Like I said lots of times, they could be doing anything, but they chose to be here at the Icon Files and watch me go live. So hope you like this, and check us out. We'll be diving into Voltron. I have a lot to show you. It's going to be amazing, really cool. So thank you so much. We're at the hour mark. So with that being said, God bless you. Jesus loves you. God loves you. And if you need prayer, reach out, and we'll be happy to hook you up. Just another shout out to E-Man's World of Geek. Check him out. He's got a great page, dude. I love watching his shows lately. Always makes me smile. I love his excitement. I love his energy. Really cool. E-Man's World of Geek. Check him out, guys. You ain't gonna be disappointed. So, all right, guys. We're just gonna call it a quits for this one. Thank you for joining and checking the Icon Files. Follow us, hit the bell, follow us, and like us, and stay tuned for the next episode. Bada boom, bada bing. And that's how we roll.